Hey everyone, I'm joined this week by the one, the only Duckster, as Finch calls you, or has told me to call you today, from Team Obey. Obey, your new roster, we're trifecta before at the start of the year. First off, Ducky, first of all, how has moving to America been for you? What's the experience been like?
It's been nice. There's a lot of ramen here, which we don't really have back home, which is lovely. It's great being in the house with everyone, even though Cassia sometimes attacks everyone by kicking the back of their chairs. And when I say kick, I mean like he goes all out. Karate
Does he spot a kick because you're not doing very well, or is it like is it a motivational tool? Is it something you're not realizing?
No, it's like Gremlins. Like after 10 p.m.,
Yeah.
he just goes wild in the house.
Don't feed him then. Do you
Don't
give him
feed
water? Is that what it is?
No, he just orders takeaway.
Oh.
Oh, he's looking angry.
He gets his energy going, right? And that's the way it's going to be. So, start of the year, you joined this Obey team, was trifecta at the time. How did it feel for you? Because that roster was very North America. Like, you were one of the only EU boys joining this roster for the most part. How did that feel coming into that? Were you worried at all?
No, I felt like I know a lot of people in the Smite community because, like, I want to say it's kind of like a family almost because everyone knows each other somewhat. So it wasn't too scary going in because I already had an idea of what everyone was like, and I'd met Cassia before as well. So I don't know.
How did you feel about the changes, though, with all the games being played live? You were in the studio every single week. Like, was that a big difference for you at all? Like, obviously, everyone playing at home in previous seasons. This one live in the studio, did it have a real difference in terms of, like, expectation for the league?
I don't know. I felt like it was more fun, and it was less scary for me because at home, like when in one of my old SK games, we had a thunderstorm, and my power went out on like our first game of our season. So we couldn't play that out, so we had to DQ. But here, everything goes well.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep.
So, I don't know. It's been a lot of fun playing live.
All right, cool. So, with the start of the year so far as well for Trifecta, it wasn't the greatest performance as a team overall. You had some roster changes as well. Walk me through a little bit, like what happened with you guys, like what ended up happening, why you ended up making roster changes.
I don't know. We felt like when we got into game, like first games usually they either went well or we kind of got,
Rolled over.
Yeah, would be the kind way to put it. And then second game we usually brought it back, and then I don't know, we just never really pulled through. And we felt like we needed a change because it obviously wasn't going too great. So we got Moswell in for Lasbro. Lasbro now on LG. He's doing well in jungle. And then we got Mineral in for Eonic, who's also now on LG. But I felt like changes were needed, and hopefully it'll go better.
During the offseason, how's the chemistry been with you, the team? And obviously with new members coming in, you've had to probably make adjustments to their styles and things. Do you think things have gone well so far in terms of preparation?
Yeah, I think everyone meshes fairly well, and Mineral played with Wowie back in the day, I think. I'm not too sure. Kind of guessing.
He did.
He did? Okay, good. And then...
So you all know each other, but you don't all communicate and follow each other, right?
No, not at all, but... I know they're friends inside and outside the game, and then Wowie also played with Moswell as well, so there's chemistry there. So it's just me and we can, kind of meshing in with them.
Okay, cool. So with the second phase now coming up, obviously you've already started playing a couple of games, getting warmed up. How's it gone for you so far in the second phase? What's been your personal focus, I would say, of what you're trying to do in the league?
Ban Arthur.
Is you just having an issue playing Arthur, or dealing?
No, it's like the first split. I just kept playing against him. Kind of got rolled over again. So I've been trying to play more gods, try and expand that pool and deal with the character. I know he got nerfed a fair bit, but still a bit of a pain. And he's not picked as highly anymore. But no, mainly expanding the god pool.
And that's been your major focus, just expanding a little bit more gods, a bit more flexibility for the most part. Have you noticed any changes in the solo lane at all, or is things kind of continued from last season into this to an extent?
No, it's kind of different because people were initially playing like bully characters like Arthur. Osiris was great because of his mitigations, and then Kama. But right now it's more along the lines of farm up for later on. So Yorm, Zhong are really good. You saw Amma and Vermana picked a lot. So it's mainly for that late game to deal with the carries and the mid, I want to say, because the carries get so much farm.
Yeah, sure.
Unless they put the mid laner over there, but It's mainly just farm up deal with them.
Okay. We'll turn a little bit more of the attention towards this year again, but I want to take a quick look back. Last year, you were on the infamous SK team that didn't do the greatest that he would have liked to overall. How hard is it to try and bounce back from consistent losses? And to be fair, this year, you kind of started off that way as well with this team. Like, did you think you were going to end up in the same situation again this year, or did you always have hope it was going to get better?
I mean, I always had hope. It was the same last year. Like, it was a group of great players, but we just never really pulled it through on game day, I feel like. Because scrims went well, but yeah, game day always went downhill. But I feel like... What was it? What was the question?
Question really was like, have you seen the same sort of thing happening with this Obey roster, or have you still got hope that you're going to do a lot better in the second half of the year?
Oh, no, I'm hoping we're going to get a few wins this year, or this split. I feel like we can take games off the majority of the teams. The high-end teams, I still think we can, like, for sure, but we need to put the work in.
And then moving on then to the matchup tomorrow is going to be against SSG, Space Station Gaming, who are kind of in a similar spot to you guys as well in terms of not having the greatest start to the year so far. And the reason that's why I brought up SK as well, because it's kind of the same mentality that SSG are going through this year, what you did on SK Gaming last year to an extent. How hard is it to keep, a positive attitude towards that, when you're just having a bad run of form?
I'm not going to lie. When I was on the SK roster, I did have some outbursts. I was not happy we were losing too much, but I think they'll pull it together. Like, Barrow was tweeting like at the start of the year, like, when things weren't going well, but I think he's slowly getting back into it, and I think their team's great. Like, they've got a lot of great players, but it's just, again, never really clicked. But hopefully with time that'll kick in. And
you're up against them on Thursday now, so with this matchup that you're going to have to face off against them, obviously one of you is going to win, one of you is going to lose. It has to happen. How are you feeling about this particular matchup against SSG in general, and of course Aquarius?
Well, if they're going to click as a team, I'm hoping it's after this week, so get that win on the board. But I know Aqua's always played like really aggressive, I feel like, from my experience anyway. So I'm hoping I can deal with that fairly well and just call Weekend over whenever I need him.
And is that working out well with you and Weekend in terms of the chemistry and communication? Because obviously changing junglers is always a bit of a difference for a solo laner. It's probably one of the roles you interact with most in the early game most of the time.
I mean, as long as I get my blue buff, I'm happy, But he talks a lot. Like, I feel like he gets a lot of smack.
For being Weekend.
Yeah, for being Weekend.
Yeah.
Just having a 5-head. But I don't know. I think he's a good jungler. I think he just needs a team to prove it.
SSG then. Keep saying it. What's the result going to be on Thursday?
What do you think, Kasia?
3-0 for us.
3-0 for us? Okay.
That's what Kasia says. What do you say?
Ooh.
Be honest. Don't look at your coach.
I have to look at Kasia.
I know he's your coach and stuff. You got to be straight. What do you think?
Cheeky 3-1.
Cheeky 3-1 to them?
To us.
3-1. And which game is SSG going to take?
Second
game. Oh, so we're tied up at 1-1. We'll find out, guys, on the broadcast about how well he can do. That's it from me here. Thanks a lot, Ducky.